Let's take a look at the digital form technology in the system. So when you go into the admin, there's an icon for forms. When you go into there, it'll list all the forms that you have created. If you have not created any, it'll be blank. The first thing you should notice is there's a template library. There's over 100 different form templates that you can use. So if you need an incident management system, behavior-based safety observations, and competency assessment forms, you can go through the library. You can open up the PDF and view it. If you like what's on there, you can hit Save As. And when you save as, you can actually change it once you've saved it. So you can switch out the logo, change questions, add questions, remove questions, and update the form to be exactly how you want it to be. Once you go into the forms and you start with a blank template, it comes up blank. So I'm going to go through the features on the side. So first you can drop and drag different widgets on the side. So the first one's going to be checkboxes. Second one's going to be drop downs, text fields, Likert scales, charts for lots of information, date stamps and time stamps. You can also upload files so you can capture video, images, and PDF documents. You can also get multiple signatures, so you can get one signature from the person filling it out and another signature from a supervisor, or you can send the form out for multiple signatures. So you can say, after this form's done, I want 20 of the VPs across the company to sign off on this so that they know what was in the detail of this completed form. There's also mileage and hour tracking. There's also a task management and corrective actions tool. There's also a equipment field tool to capture information and equipment. There's a diagram tool that'll allow you to upload a image and have the person write on it. So like a flattened car or an outline of a body where they can identify where the issues were. You can also take attendance for people in a meeting or people that were a part of the incident investigation. And there's also GPS tracking. The information fields are the fields that you can put onto the form that allow the form to pre-populate the information to the person filling it out. So they're not putting in the information, you are when you create it. So you can say, well, I'm going to assign this form to some people. The system knows their first name, their last name, so you can actually identify which fields you want to display, and you can have those fields display right on this form automatically. So you don't need them to fill out all the paperwork to say, here's my name, here's my city, here's my postal code. The system can pre-populate that. If they're filling it out on a forklift or a piece of equipment, the system can pre-populate the information from the piece of equipment automatically. And then you can also put in plain text or dynamic text. So dynamic text is the ability to put in information that's created based on the inputs of the form. So you can actually say that it looks like you scored pretty high here and pretty low there, so here's the recommendations for the rest of this form. So you can actually put in dynamic text. You can upload videos so that they know how to do a proper inspection, or you can upload images so that you can show them what frayed wire looks like. You can also do design settings, so you can have page breaks and you can have sections. Once you populate the form, there's a number of features in the side. So if I start with checkboxes on the side, on the basic, I can change the title, the description. I can include as many checkboxes as I wish. I can also display the options for how many columns. So I can put it in 2 columns or 3 columns or 4 columns. And then I can also change the width. So if I say, well, this is too wide, I need a few of these. So I'm going to go to 1/3 the page. And then I'm going to duplicate this, and I can duplicate it simply by clicking on it. So if I get the exact number of checkboxes I want, and I get everything designed the way I want, then I simply double click on this, and it creates a duplicate. Then I can slightly change this. And then I double click that, and I create another duplicate. I can also duplicate entire sections. So if I wanted to, I can drag sections into elements into a section, adjust them exactly the way I want, and then I can duplicate this entire section. Now, when I'm in a checkbox, not only do I have the ability to adjust all of the options, but I have the ability to select the types. So here's the types on checkboxes. So the first one is regular checkboxes. That'll allow you to select multiple items. But you also have the option to go to a radio checkbox that only allows you to select one option. So instead of the boxes, it'll change it to circles, and they can only select one of those options, like a yes/no question. There's also audit checkboxes that'll create an audit workflow for maintenance, let's say, as an example. Or you can create approval checkboxes. So the approval checkbox says if they check this one item here, that means the document is approved. If they check any of the others, it's a fail. So you can have a pass-fail type checkbox at the bottom of it that's filled out only by a supervisor or manager, and that allows you to keep track of which audits were passed and which ones were failed. There's also in the background points, so you can add up over 150 different categories of points. So you can say if they check this, that's good for the safety score, give them 5 points. If they check this box here, that's bad. Let's take 4 points from their operational score. So you can have up to 150 different categories, and you can have any number positive or negative towards each point. And in the background, the system will add up those points, and it'll allow you to output information based on the points. There's also actions. So with every checkbox, you can say if they check this box here, ask 3 more questions. If they check this box here, then get rid of the next 2 questions because they don't apply. You can even have actions like add training requirements. So you can say if this box is checked for this person that it's being filled out on, add fall protection or fall arrest to their training profile as a requirement. If they check this box here, it means they never go near confined spaces. Remove the requirement for confined space on this user's account. So tons of tools in the background engine, and I'll show you what it looks like for a user to fill it out. So on the user side, if we go into a simple onboarding form, let's say for an example, they will see the form with all the detail here. So this form is created by a construction company that wanted to do onboarding. So what they did is they said, tell us what department you're with. So they identified the department, and then tell us, are you a salary employee, hourly, or contractor? So as they check these boxes, you can see how the form instantly adapts. So each checkbox or each drop down, you can actually have the form customized. So I'll go through it as a contractor. So with a contractor, they fill out all the worker information, legal name, middle name, name you go by, date of birth, cell phone, gender. They also give the company's information, address, WCB number, postal code, province, description. They can also upload, and this is a drag and drop, so they simply drag and drop a PDF of their certificate of incorporation, their insurance. If they have a truck, they have to upload a truck checklist. If they don't, they click non-applicable. It removes that, so they no longer have to do it. Then they have to agree to CPP, they have to upload a void check, they have to agree to payroll deduct, they have to agree to company benefits. Then they have to do a signature right on here, and they have to save it and date it. Then they have to do a self-identification questionnaire. Then they have to date that and sign that. Once they finish all that, then they go into the worker information. They go into medical information, the consent forms. Then they have to sign off on the consent form. Then they go through and do the legal agreements. So they have to fill in the legal agreements for privacy, the legal agreements for confidentiality, and on and on and on. So there's 42 pages of paperwork that's done right from their phone or from their tablet or for their computer, and they can do it right from home and submit it all. If they miss one piece of information and try to submit it, it instantly goes right to the top, highlights it red, and lets them know that they have to fill out these fields that they miss. Once a section is completed successfully, it'll highlight it green. So at any point in time, they can open this form and they can see they're all green except this one, and they know that the personal email authorization has not been filled out. They can click on this, it'll go right down to that section, and they can see in red highlighted, oh, I didn't agree to this, I didn't date it, and I didn't put a signature in. So that's a little bit on the digital forms.